RPL, or the Representation in Politics and Legislatures Lab, is a research lab supported by the Rooney Democracy Institute, financially and otherwise, that is dedicated to the study of the role of legislatures in our politics, our governance, our policymaking, and more.
Coming out of the pandemic, when a lot of us were isolated, there was a pretty large group of us who were studying legislative politics in some form. And so several of us decided to get that group together, not only to give feedback to each other on our individual projects, but also to collaborate on research.
RPL provides support for the research that we do here in a number of ways. Some of it's financial, part of it's physical space for us to be able to gather, but most of all, it's a scholarly community.
There are a few different ways RPL has supported my research. It's been a really good place to present work and get different opinions or ideas, and then also more informally just get career advice or which conferences to go to and things that aren't as easy to answer.
The first and foremost way the lab helped me was like navigating the PhD life. Things like, how do we separate and archive all of our projects so we don't get mixed up with a lot of things that we are doing, right? Things like that seem really simple, but like when you're coming to grad life and you're doing a lot of things at once, sometimes if you don't think about it, it kind of turns into a snowball.
Most obviously, the RPL Lab has helped me grow as a scholar through helping me facilitate research projects and take those through the research process, from starting with a big research question to seeing that executed through the publication process. But there's also been a really important element of professional development that has cultivated in the lab.
I'm currently working on a project with another lab member where we are studying the effects of knowledge of state politics on people's feelings of having a voice in the political system at the state level. We have actually been awarded a grant to continue on to a second phase of study in our surveys, and that was a grant we were able to get through an outside organization with support from our advisors in the RPL Lab.
One project that I am working on with a couple of different people in the lab is one that examines candidate training programs. We ask questions about whether these programs that kind of help candidates who are trying to run for office learn how to actually be effective lawmakers, if those programs work.
Well, I hope that the lab will continue to bring this community together within Notre Dame, putting different subfields together, doing research that has policy impact.
It's been really important to study different levels of government and the impact individuals are having as part of the political system. So I'm hoping that this kind of revives an area of research and builds a broader community.
I hope that RPL's research can show not just other academics, but also members of the public or even people in government what is kind of best practice for them. That's something that can have a real impact on legislators who are in office, who might be thinking about doing these candidate training programs.
A lot of the projects that we do in RPL have a public-facing component associated with them, and so I hope that those continue to impact public discourse around important themes in American politics. Perhaps on a more personal level, I really hope that I can emulate the lab that I've been a part of with my future graduate students. It's been a really important space for me to develop as a scholar, and I would like to sort of pay that forward for future political scientists.
Well, I hope part of what RPL is able to do is multiply our abilities as individual scholars to do research that shapes our understanding of legislatures and of legislative politics. I also hope that RPL draws attention to the excellent work that's being done in this space at the University of Notre Dame and makes the Rooney Democracy Institute and the university itself a central focal point and a place that people elsewhere look to better understand legislatures and legislative politics in the United States and elsewhere.